it's people might not understand. It's difficult when you see a brother that has so much promise become an icon as far as in the music business and stuff that he did, to turn around and um, just tear his whole life down. But it's all because of his mentors and the people that trained him and taught him the music business. You know, it's all about the people who trained and taught him the music business, because Puff wasn't he wasn't born a monster. You know what I'm saying? He was made into a monster, brother. Do you understand what I'm saying? He was made into a monster from the stuff that happened to him, the things that he had to do. You understand? The things that he had to do to become who he is. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like this, brother. You never like something so much that you can't do it out. And you never be willing to do anything to get where you want to be at. You got to have principles. You got to have morals. You got to keep with that stuff. And in that music business, a lot of that stuff get thrown out the window. You understand? And that's what happened to him. He started doing the things to other people that was done to him. To keep it frank, he was doing the things to other people that was done to him.
I was saying that this guy, he's been pretty much shitting on Diddy for years, like basically telling how despicable he is and giving a lot of information and for years. But he did give a perspective. So I guess my question is, how much of it do you think, people who groomed him, like the Clive Davises, people like that he looked
Davis.
up to, do y'all feel like Puff became that way by being groomed and maybe some of the stuff he did was done to him, or was he always a slithery, nasty dude?
They could have made him like that. I also believe that because I heard that he was in a relationship with Clive Davis. So
Yeah.
Clive Davis was in the music industry for years. So that just may have happened. I've heard so many things that's gone on in the music industry
Hmm.
after a few years, and it's a lot of demonic things that I found out that takes place. And so
Mhm.
you have to definitely protect the people, your surroundings, because you have demons. And what happens is that spirits transfers. And so it may have been a point in time where he was just who he was or whatever,
Hmm.
and then as he got into the music industry they may have uh turned him a certain way, but also that narcissistic. I think he just has a lot of mental issues that go on. And I also believe that when you talked about karma, the Bible says you reap what you sow. So whatever
Right.
you do to people, it is a biblical principle. It's going to come back around to you.
In terms of was he groomed to be this way?
Yeah.
Probably in a sense, yeah. I think, yeah,
Yeah.
that's. But I also feel like part of that is him too. I don't think you know you can groom people or whatever and teach him how to be a ruthless businessman and all that, but some of that stuff is his personality too.
Just
So we
personal.
can't
He has some
we
mindset.
can't
Yeah.
skip over that. And the reason I had the face earlier when you played the clip is because he said the when he spoke about um people have to have morals and like integrity, that kind of thing. It that always hits me because it's like you're saying it now, but you were there. Your morals and integrity didn't pull you out of the situation when you were in it, when you were getting paid from it. But now, after the fact, now it becomes, let's talk about, it becomes immoral when you're no longer involved in it. And I guess that always gets me when
Well,
people,
to play devil's advocate for a moment, do we know his level of involvement, though, and why he stayed? There could have been reasons, good reasons why he stayed. Like, he's paid to be a bodyguard. Maybe he
Oh yeah.
stayed because he felt like, yeah, this is crazy. Maybe I need to be here to make sure this doesn't get too out of hand or nobody gets too hurt, or him feeling like maybe he can intervene if something really crazy happens, to be a watchdog, or
Or maybe you
it
were
could have been
enjoying the
that.
lifestyle and then got fired, and now you want to do the tell all.
But you know what though?
It could be,
You know what's
could
interesting
be.
is that he
That's a
actually,
possibility.
a lot of the stuff you're saying, Twin, he actually said that in another interview in regards to Cassie. Because he was asked that, like, did he ever think about, like, going to, turning Puff in or whatever the case is. And he was actually saying that that was what he felt like. He felt like when he was around, he said he wanted to stay close to make sure it didn't get out of hand. That's what he was saying. So it's interesting.
But
So
it did get out of hand.
no, that's a good point though. B. That's a good point. I think for you to answer your question though, I think the reason why, because I was gonna play this other video with her, Cassie's makeup artist, but I don't want to play that video. But she's talking about how she knew back in 2010 because she had witnessed her. Basically, she was doing Cassie's makeup or whatever. Diddy came in the room in the hotel, and they went into another room, and she heard a bunch of screaming. Cassie came out, her nose was busted, and all this stuff. This is back in 2010, and the makeup artist was saying that she's a good friend of Cassie, and she just wanted to she basically was glad when Cassie came out in XYZ. But a lot of the question is like why you didn't say anything. And then but interestingly enough, a lot of people was like they were scared and they didn't really know what to do. Cause Puff, I mean,
He
I was having
powerful.
this conversation with Faith earlier. We were talking about Puff and she was like, I could see why they don't want to let him out because he might be trying to coerce witnesses and this and that. And I was like, well, probably my opinion now, probably not so much now, but probably before, because I think he wielded a lot of power before. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I wouldn't quite call him a mobster, but he did have a lot of resources and things you could do before all this came out. Now he got the heat on him, so I think you people are a little more safe if they want to go against him and talk. But before all this stuff came out, I think a lot of people was like, "Yo, you come out against him, man, you're not gonna eat, like especially in entertainment because he wielded a lot of power." So I'm just saying that
Yeah.
that probably
If there's rumors
that's
about
probably a
him,
reason.
yeah, and if there was rumors about him, setting up hits on people as powerful as Biggie
Oh
and
yeah.
Tupac, people are gonna be. Of course, you're gonna be scared. Like, man, if he could, whether it's true or not, is one thing. But if you just think, like, man, if he could be involved in something like that, what could he do to me?
Everybody that was trying to come out with a tell-all book is dead now, and I'll be sure almost died. Power,
You
man.
say I'll be sure.
Power to kill you, man. Yeah.